The only thing that's worrying me is everything is so wet, the ground is so boggy that I don't know where I could pitch a tent at the moment where it wouldn't just sink. Anyway, I'm going to press on. Stop feeling sorry for myself. What's a bit of wet, eh?
We operate a fleet of well-equipped vessels on all our routes throughout the west coast of Scotland. Life-saving appliances on board, including life rafts and life buoys, all of which can be
Also, wir mussten gestern mal wieder...
I'm enjoying this. It's a bit like being on a fairground ride. Well, a very tame one, but it's a bit bumpy, so I quite like it. I just tried to do a YouTube short. I am so bad at YouTube, you know. It's just occurred to me how bad I am. But anyway, I'll do the odd one. Keep me occupied. So yeah, so it's Tuesday at 3 o'clock, and I'm on my way to Castle Bay on Barra, which is exciting. Really enjoyed the journey so far. This is the longest I've ever taken to get to the start of a walk. But that was sort of part of the appeal, I must admit, when I was planning it all. I did fancy the idea of some ferry rides and stuff. So yeah, I'm not complaining. All right, let's go back in time. So Sunday I'm at home, feeling quite upbeat. I'd had my little panics and stuff, and I'd calmed myself down, and then I got an email from Calmac Ferries on Sunday night saying there's a good chance of disruption to your ferry route, and it might be moved or cancelled or something due to bad weather. So I thought, oh, that's not good, because I've got a hotel planned for when I get to Castle Bay, and the trains were all planned up to that point, so I didn't know what to do. But I looked at the forecast. It looked okay to me, but I'm not a ferry pilot, driver, captain, ferry captain, so I wouldn't know what they know. Anyway, I thought, well, I'll travel up anyway, and I'll cross that bridge when I come to it if the ferry's cancelled. So Monday morning comes, I wake up and I see there's been a derailment on the line that I was going to be using. It was an early morning train coming from Glasgow down to London, and funnily enough, it had derailed just outside Shap. And I know Shap because I stayed in a little pod thing when I was doing the coast to coast walk at someone's pub, so that was quite funny. So, but the only problem was I knew where Shap was. I knew that was exactly the trip I'd be taking. That would be the line I'd be on. So I thought, right, okay, it's someone trying to tell me something here. There's a couple of reasons now where I can't go, and I just thought, right, so there's something going on here. Anyway, persevered. I thought, well, I'll get to the train station, because my train, even though I knew it would be cancelled, hadn't been cancelled yet. So I thought, well, I'll get to the train station, I'll ask for some advice. So that's what I did. So, and basically they rerouted me via Edinburgh, which was fine. There was a bit of an issue with my tickets and stuff, but I think it's all worked out okay in the end, and I might even get some compensation. And my train ended up actually arriving at Glasgow Queen Street rather than as Glasgow Central, so it's actually nearer to the hotel. So all worked out quite nicely. And then, so yeah, that brings me to today, and my ferry hasn't been cancelled. So I'm lucky. The omens were just, I think they were just testing me. They were just testing my resolve, seeing if I'd chicken out this early. So I'm glad I haven't. So yeah, so got the train today at 8:20, something like that, from Queen Street Station in Glasgow up to Oban, and it's about a 3-hour train ride, but it's really nice, really beautiful. It feels like the train has no right being there. When I was travelling in it, I was looking at one stage, I was looking up the train and I could see the mountains on either side, and then I could see two of the guards in the train just chatting to each other at the front of the train, and it felt like those two sort of worlds didn't match. It was quite surreal, but I loved that. I love that train ride. So even if all I do on this trip is do the train ride from Glasgow to Oban and then this ferry ride over to Castle Bay, it's a trip worth doing, and that hasn't involved any walking at all. So yeah, I'd recommend it. Definitely recommend that. So tonight I've got a hotel booked because I didn't really fancy, because it's going to get there at 7:15, the ferry, and it's going to be dark, very dark by then. I didn't really fancy trying to find somewhere to camp. No campsites or anything this time of year. So I've got a hotel for tonight, but then the walk starts proper tomorrow. But the build-up has been really good fun. And like I say, if you fancy taking just a trip on a train and a ferry, I would recommend this. I'm hoping it'll get a little bit rougher. I fancied a little bit of a rocking on the boat, but not too much. Don't want to be sick or anything. But yeah, it's fantastic, and the views are absolutely amazing. It's a bit of a problem really, because I keep on just taking pictures, because I go, oh, that's a better view, that's a better view. And my battery's flat on my phone now, so I've got to go and find somewhere to charge it. Right, I'm going to stay out here as long as I can until I get cold, because I love it out here, and then I'm going to go inside, probably when it gets dark, and get warm. flickering. Sorry. Okay, so I am now at the start point. I've finally made it to the start point. So I've walked for 5 miles already, and that's got me to the start. And now I'm going to pretty much go back the way I came towards Castle Bay, but that's then we'll be walking the what it's called, the Hebridean Way. I tell you what, I'm finding this quite hard. It's been road walking so far, so it's going to be road walking all the way back, and it has been raining all the time. They've got these little facilities here at the start with a toilet and sink and stuff, so that's been useful. So there's some pretty bad rain coming through now, which I'm going to just sit out of for about half an hour, I think, and then I'm going to head back. My nerves are terrible. I've had a really bad stomach as well the last couple of days, and last night was terrible. So I was wondering whether to postpone the start because of the weather and because I'm not feeling too well. But I decided to press on. I thought maybe part of the reason I'm not feeling too well is because of the nerves anyway. It does happen. But I think there's more to it than that. But going for a walk helps most problems, doesn't it? So yeah, I'm trying not to be a bit gloomy, but at the moment it's not much fun. But I guess that's not necessarily why I do it, is it? You know, it looks gorgeous out there. I think even with the bad weather, I can see how nice the beaches are and stuff, but just with all the rain and the mist and stuff, it doesn't do it justice, I don't suppose. Anyway, the forecast for tomorrow, forecast for the rest of the day is just rain for the rest of the day. Then tomorrow, it says clouds, but maybe not as much rain. And then Friday, sunshine and showers, so you never know. But I've noticed the forecasts have been really bad here. I guess it's really hard to predict what the weather's going to be when it's so out in the sea. That's what I reckon it is anyway. Anyway, right, do you know what? I'm just going to get on. And then once I think I was quite disheartened this morning because I've basically I've not been feeling well, and I've been walking the wrong way just to get to the start, and now I know I've got to turn around and do it all over again. And that's a little bit soul destroying when you'd have to do that for 2 hours. But it's done now. So just going to go that way. First ferry's in about 15 miles. I won't get that far today. I'm a bit worried about camping as well. I can't see any really good spots at the moment, but maybe that'll improve as I go along. Yeah, I'm just being a bit negative, aren't I? Right, need to snap out of it. Yeah, and press on. I'm sorry about the lens in all the water on it. I can't dry it with anything. So I thought I was going to have to walk from on the road all the way back to Castle Bay where I'd started. But that's so bad. But let me see if I can dry it. No, I can't dry it. But then I realised the Hebridean Way actually heads over the hills. So that's really good. It's good to get off the road. The only thing is the weather's so bad and the paths are just waterlogged. I found myself back there trying to avoid water and I thought, why? Your feet are drenched. It doesn't matter, so just plough on. And the signs are pretty, there's markers along here, they're pretty well marked. Every now and then I get lost and I can't see the next one. But so far, after a little while, I've managed to see them. I'll be honest, I'm struggling a bit. I'm starting to think, oh, you're on day one, you've got so much ahead of you, and if this relents, then I don't know, I think I'm going to struggle, which disappoints me a bit. I'm sure I'm made of stronger stuff than that, but maybe not. I tell you what, there are some sort of really nice views down there. You can still see them. I bet someone told me the Hebrides, the Outer Hebrides, were like the Bahamas of Scotland. So I can sort of see what they mean. Could do the weather though, couldn't we? Anyway, I'm going to keep pushing on. I keep on just thinking to myself, at some point you're going to be in a dry tent and you're going to be nice and warm. The only thing that's worrying me is everything is so wet, the ground is so boggy that I don't know where I could pitch a tent at the moment where it wouldn't just sink. Anyway, I'm going to press on. Stop feeling sorry for myself. What's a bit of wet, eh? Just haven't seen anyone either. No one else is on this walk, which, well, there are some footprints. So it makes me feel, oh, that's close, makes me feel even more reckless. Anyway, I'm going to go now before I fall over again. We're in the tent, and it's been an early stop. It's actually 4:30 now, but I stopped at 3:30. So it's not going that well. I'm starting to think that these paths aren't very good with, well, I know the ones I've just walked aren't very good with water. I know it's been raining all day, but there was so much water. The paths were waterfalls in places, or just really boggy. And I fell over 4 times. Was it 3 times and nearly 4 times? Not sure. But each time I fell, I would proper fall down. Like, I'd tend to slide on my back, but then I'd be lying in a little lake stream flowing down, so I'd be in mud and like peat and stuff, or whatever it is here, so it wasn't very nice. That's my understatement of the day. It wasn't very nice, and I struggled to get up each time as well because the footing was so bad. So I don't know. I don't know what the rest of the route is going to be like. But I think while I'm on Barra. So I was on. Yes, let's go back a little bit. I left the hotel. I had to walk to Varity. Oh, come on, let me look on my. Sorry, I apologise. Vattersea, the island Vattersea. So I had to walk on there to go to the start point, and that was about a 5-mile walk from the hotel. So then I had to turn around, and then I got going. One bit of good news is I thought the causeway would be like, like on Holy Island, where the causeway goes underwater at high tide. Well, this causeway you can cross all the time, so that was handy. So I crossed the causeway, then back to Barra, and then not long after that, I thought it was just going to be on roads because that's what I'd plugged into my watch for the route, but I made a mistake, and it actually goes like up over the hills. And I thought, oh, this is going to be nice, and it was at first. But then, yeah, it just got so bad, and I was thinking, it was raining, I was getting wet, but that's just one of those things. But when I was falling down and getting drenched through, I was starting to think, oh, I want to go home. When you think that. So I thought, right, well, can I just stop and camp and just have a think about what to do? But the ground was so boggy, there was nowhere I could have camped. So eventually I got off the top, and I found a bit of solid ground, and I thought, right, just stop here. It's only 3:30, but just stop and have a think about what to do, because I was all for just going home, which disappointed me. But yeah, when you're wet through and you just can't walk more than a few feet without falling over, it gets you down a bit. Anyway, I haven't done that. Just pitched up my tent. It was quite a really nice spot, right near the shore. I'm warm now, which has helped a lot. What hasn't helped today either is because I was so ill last night. I say ill, wasn't dying or anything, but because I had such a bad stomach and stuff, I didn't really feel like eating any tea, and I didn't have any breakfast either because I didn't fancy it. So I've been sort of running on empty as well, even though I don't feel hungry. So I don't think that helped my mood either. So I thought, right, pitch up, spend the night here, and decide what to do. So I'll go back to what I was saying. So I think, I'm looking at the map, and I think it goes off the roads again to get to the ferry. But I think, based on the fact I know these paths are so bad, I might just walk. I think there's a cycle route as well. There's a Hebridean cycle route, and I might try and walk that instead, which is going to be mainly on roads, but the roads aren't exactly busy here at the moment. So I think that's what I will do, unless when I get onto the other islands, I start to feel that that the proper Outer Hebridean Way route is okay, but I don't think it will be. I think the paths can handle any water at all, and I think that's why people don't tend to walk at this time of year. So I think I'm going to see if there's a cycle route and maybe walk that. An alternative is I abandon the Hebridean Way altogether, which I was close to doing, and then just getting back to the mainland, and then still doing the Great Glen Way and the West Highland Way. I'm really disappointed that I'm on day one and I'm having to think this way, but any of those falls today could have been the end of my trip, because I felt my knee niggle on one of them, and then my back a little bit jarred on one of my stumbles. So I've got to be sensible, I guess, or I'm not going to be doing any of it, am I? But yeah, I was definitely thinking about just packing the whole thing in earlier. I get ever so homesick when things aren't going well. I'm like, I I'm like, I just want to cry and go home. But now I'm warm. I'm in my tent, and it's a nice pitch. I think I'm going to wake up tomorrow and see what's doing. Don't think the weather's great tomorrow, but I think it's sunshine and showers after that, and I don't mind that because the views will be nice. I think that makes quite nice views, and you get a bit of sun in between the showers to dry everything. Because my clothes are drenched, totally wet through, and that apparently that's what happens when you lie in puddles. So that's not great. So hopefully the weather will improve and I'll get a chance to dry stuff. Is this moaning? I feel like it's moaning again. It has been a tough day. And it's not helped that I've had this bad stomach, which feels all right now, touch wood. But I still don't really feel like eating much. So, yeah, just a few things going against me at the moment. We'll see. I don't want to give up. I might give up. But if I can find a route that I can at least get some pace on. I mean, that's the other thing. When you're constantly falling over, you're just not making no progress either. So not only is it uncomfortable and not very nice and potentially dangerous, you're not getting anywhere. So that starts working in your head then. You're thinking, well, I'll never finish this. And yeah, I enjoy these walks, but I don't want it to last forever. But yeah, I think that's about it. So I'm just going to rest. It's only 4:30 and I'm pitched up. It's mad, isn't it? So I'm gonna probably write my post for the day, and then just chill out, read my book. Okay, sorry for going on. I'm done.